What's going on, everyone, and this time I want to update you on what's going on with the iOS 13 because there are some new rumors and things that I think you would be interested in, so let's get started with this video right now. So the first thing that is actually very likely to happen is official dark mode. I mean, we sort of had something with the iOS 12 because back then we got the release of the smart invert feature, which is pretty much the same thing, but it doesn't really work that well, and it's just not a real dark mode. Even though it looks like it, it's not a real dark mode because some apps are still not supported and it doesn't work the way you would expect it to. But with the iOS 13, a real proper working dark mode should arrive, and it is actually very likely to happen. I mean, this is what the home screen looks like with the smart invert, and you can see that something is off here. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but let me compare it side by side what it looks like when I don't have anything turned on and when I have the smart invert turned on. You could see that there is a difference. But people are like, why there is such a big hype around the dark mode, which is a normal thing? The hype is there because Apple has created the hype around such a small and tiny feature, and I think that they know what they're doing because, I mean, people want to use iOS because iOS is secure and the way it works is really satisfying and it just works. But we don't have the dark mode. Even though the competition does have the dark mode, you don't want to simply lose the other things in the iOS just to get the dark mode. You basically want to have all of that. So that's why Apple sort of created the dark mode with the smart invert, and now lets us wait for the official one. They're just creating hype to make us excited about it, and I think it works because people simply want this feature and want to use iOS, like I said. The next thing that we expect with the arrival of the iOS 13 is a new behavior for apps in the iPad running iOS 13. Just like on the MacBook you have windows, of course it sounds a bit weird, but you have these windows of icons or apps. I mean, the very same thing is supposed to come to the iPad, so you're gonna have a dedicated window for the clock, for Safari and some other applications as well, which is especially useful on those bigger iPad models, not on the mini one, so I think that this feature is only gonna be supported on the top-notch Pro models, not on the mini models, because it's just too small for such an improvement, but it is definitely rumored to happen because it just makes sense. We have talked about this already on this channel, that Apple should really bring a new version for the iPads. Perhaps call it differently, not iOS, but we should have a better environment on that big screen and not just the plain iOS that we also have on our iPhones. iPads are not supposed to be just bigger phones, they're supposed to be iPads, which could have the ability to even replace a computer or a laptop. We are not in that state yet, but we are on the way actually. So with this step, with this new version of the iOS, which brings improvements just to iPads, I think that it's gonna happen in the future. Well, this annoying thing has been around for years and it is finally supposed to be removed and